Who are you? Where are you? Why are you here? Do you think this is coincidence? Do you think that you as human being are something more than just the physical aspect? Do you feel that there is more of you than your mind and senses can perceive? If you answered any of those questions, yes, I am here because I was guided to be here, then this webinar is for you. This webinar already culminates, already finalizes the steps of chakras on yours and mine human hero's journey map. Because chakra in ancient scripts, they are the map of our human beingness. They are the map of our human hero's journey that we are pursuing through each and every chakra with different experience on every chakra, different physical, different psychological, and different spiritual experience. As you see, we are currently on the week 9 of our journey through human hero's journey and chakras combined. Human hero's journey that bases on this hero's journey aspect that is the essence of all the great movies, the context, the stages, and those stages that are part of every layer of chakra experience. This is already the last chakra, the crown chakra, and deep dive. As you see, our road to here was quite long. It's still accessible. It's still possible to check those steps that we described. We described each and every chakra to nearly the fullest possible context, with most important questions asked, with best sources that exist, not only the theoretical sources, but as well the meditation sources that I happened to be given as this tool for discovering. The crown chakra is on the very top. In Hindu tradition, it's called Sahasrara chakra, and it's so beautiful, so important, and so full of spirituality. It's the center of spirituality. It's the center of enlightenment. It's the center of dynamic thoughts. It's the center of energy. It's as well said to be the center of cosmic consciousness, of Christ consciousness. And this is as well the chakra, which is the communion with higher states of consciousness, with awareness of higher consciousness, wisdom of what is sacred. The connection with formless, the limitless, as this chakra is said in some of the traditions even not to be the chakra, as it's formless. Any description of this chakra limits it, and this chakra is unlimited, is connected to limitless. It's about realization, liberation from limiting patterns. It's the presence. It's this ultimate ecstasy and bliss. When in imbalance, one might suffer from constant sense of frustration, melancholy, and destructive feelings. We will show lots of those contexts later on. This question that I asked on the very beginning, who am I? Where is this I? Is this I only the physical aspect? Or is this only the mental aspect? Or is it this aspect that puts those thoughts into your mind? Those thoughts that you don't know how they appeared there. Those thoughts that tell you to do something. Those thoughts that are the ideas about something that you are figuring out for the long time. And right now, this answer appeared. And when you test this answer, it has all those elements, all those contexts that you are looking for. It's in there. So, who you are. In here, as well, it's very important, especially for those higher chakras, to turn on something more than just the mind, just thoughts, just emotions, just desires, instincts, and the limited physical body senses. It's not enough. To understand this higher aspect of yourself. This higher aspect of yourself requires that you turn on this intuitive aspect that all of us have that all of us from time to time use. All of us from time to time hear when it's speaking, when it's showing images, when it's sure of your direction, sure of your purpose. So this split into this cognitive aspect, the aspect of logical mind, the aspect of this thinking that is working on logical aspect, working on mind, thoughts, emotions, desire, instincts and senses. It's this cognitive side. Extroverted perception, the perception of the external environment. When this introverted perception, the intuition that sees the content whole and complete, it sees the whole context, the context of future, the context of presence, and the context of past experience, all in one, at once. This aspect that our being is not able to explain and is not able to discover with these cognitive elements that we have. This intrinsic certainty, the conviction, the unconscious origin of alertness. This is this introverted perception, the intuition, and this is the tool that you should use on higher levels. This is the tool that has been designed to be used on daily basis, because this tool connects to your higher aspect. It knows everything, it simply knows everything. It does not need this whole logical analysis. It already did it. It already has the context much more full that you can imagine, much more complete. And those types that are important, those types that give you this capabilities, those types that highlight what those might be, the clairaudience, the claircognizance, the clairvoyance, the clairsentience, where is the things you hear, the things you know, the things you see, and the things you just feel. The things you hear, those voices that say, don't go. And you see that if you went, this would either be a failure or something bad for you. And something said, don't go, just stay. This inner voice that tells you, buy it, sell it, don't get attached to it. Think about this higher aspect, think about others. And the way as well to really discover this gift. Discover by tuning into single sounds around you. For a long time, in a crowd, just focus on single sound. When you are in forest, focus on single bird. And check what will come out of it How often will you start to hear something more than just the brain being noisy? This I know aspect. You know the answer to the question, but you don't have the idea how. You have just the clear knowing, out of blue illumination. And intuition is processed through mind, not just the gut instincts. The ideas as well come when least expected, in automatic writing as well, and meditation. This clairvoyance, the things you see, the things that are different and outside of logic, the images, the numbers, the symbols, usually as metaphors. The vivid dreams, seeing flashlights, seeing future events, these deja vu situations. By inner self through meditation and third eye. This clairsentience, this feeling, this sensing of other people's feelings, this deep feeling of their energy. And remembering to keep the journal of those messages, not to lose them, because they sometimes are so important, sometimes are so direct, and so to be taken action upon right now, then it's very important to write them down. Traits of being selective or having strong feeling to help are as well in here. So, as in previous chakras, we will try to have two perspectives. One is about those questions that you might ask. You might not know the topic, so you would ask these basic questions, the questions that really are usually connected to chakras, and this chakra specifically. So why is it called crown chakra? I mentioned that they are located on the spine. Where is this one? How this one is interconnected? What is so special about this crown chakra? How many functions it has? Is there anything specific about this chakra in terms of its characteristics? How this crown chakra is important for my well-being on physical, mental and spiritual levels? What is this Kundalini thing, and why it's so important to mention it here? What is this nectar of gods thing, and why it's important to mention it here? And what is this samadhi thing that some people might already discover to be some interesting aspect of all of us? So why is it called crown chakra, and what are those meanings of its name? It has at least couple of names, as the main chakra. It has as well a couple of sub-chakras that we will mention. So as this main chakra, it's called Sahasrara, Shunya, Niralam, Bapuri, and with the meanings of thousand-petaled, we will explain it a bit more, the void and the dwelling place without support. This is the last chakra to be awakened, and sometimes not even considered chakra, as other chakras are mostly aligned with psyche. It was considered the elevated energy center with connection to lower 6 chakras. It's said to be the chakra of Christ consciousness. This higher Buddhic center and this cosmic consciousness location. This chakra as well increases when man progresses on path of spiritual advancement, because it might be narrow, then it expands to cover almost the whole top of the head. At first, it is the depression of etheric body as a channel of reception. Then it reverses itself to become channel of radiation. So first you receive, then you give. Standing out from the head as dome on some of the pictures of Buddha, you see this crown of glory on the top of his head. In the Christian tradition, those are those crowns worn by 4 and 20 elders. So where is it located? As you see, we are going from the bottom up. So this chakra is the last one. It's on the very top of the head. Sometimes not the very top, but the whole top part of the head. And how is it interconnected? It's interconnected with around 1,000 nerve endings in the limbic system. It's termination of 1,000 yoga nadis. It's door to pure consciousness. It's connected to pineal gland and sometimes considered to be connected to the pituitary. The pineal gland as a seat of illumination and pituitary as seat of mind are partners in these mystical activities. Some experts believe that they must join to create the fully functional third eye. So, what is so special about this chakra? This chakra is unique. It's both formless and with form. It's both everything and nothing. It acts through nothing and simultaneously acts through everything. It's the beyond the beyond. This parat param. It transcends logic. Whatever said will limit and categorize it. It transcends all concepts and is the source of all concepts. It's the seat of the self-luminous soul, this chitta, the essence of being. It's the seat of spirituality. It's this center of Christ consciousness, higher Buddhic center, the reflection of the cosmic self. As well, this chakra is this culmination of ascensions through the different chakras. So the last one, and the most important, the power of chakras reside in this Sahasrara chakra. It's not in the individual chakras. Those individual chakras are just the switches of this power. This perfect merging is this culmination of yoga. It's this union point when Kundalini reaches it. It's this moment of self-realization, the samadhi, the individual awareness dies. This sensual and mental. No multiple or dual awareness. Only single supermental awareness. This nirvana, samadhi, kaivalya, self-realization, enlightenment, communion, and heaven. Those are those elements that link into here. It produces as well this amrita, the nectar of gods, that we will discuss or we will describe a bit more later on. It's this center of universal love, the right divine motive. How many functions does this crown chakra has? Those in here are just the highlight. We will dive more deeply into these specific aspects, but these key ones that we can highlight in here are superhuman healing, this center of intuition, this access to all higher gifts, this siddhis, this emotional and mental relationships with higher virtues, these angelic traits on earth are here. So, what are those physiological functions? It enables this superhuman healing of disease. It enables this pineal gland to receive substances through the blood-brain barrier. This is for production of melatonin and serotonin. It's this electromagnetic sensor, this balance between negative magnetic field of Earth and positive magnetic field of Sun. This magnetic sensing materials, the crystals, are in the brain. Lots located in the ethmoid bone in the sinus. 5 million single domain, so uniformly magnetized crystals per gram of pia and dura matters in the brain, so those matters that are directly near the brain and are this last layer of the brain. It is sensitive to all types of magnetic fields. It manages the pineal gland, the skull, the brain stem, the cranial nerves, the cranial plexus, the cerebral cortex, the nervous system, the brain, the cranium bones, top of the head, and central nervous system. Sometimes the right eye and right brain hemisphere are connected to this chakra. The left eye and left brain hemisphere, they are connected to the sixth chakra, so the third eye chakra. Our entire body is a gigantic electromagnetic frequency generator. It's a sort of piezoelectrical crystal, meaning that the electricity is produced by the pressure. Those key elements are the magnetite, which serves as compass, calcite, it's this piezoelectrical properties of pineal gland. The external electromagnetic fields and frequencies can induce this bone formation, the energy functions in cells, the protein synthesis, and other important functions. They can disturb the pineal gland function. Most individual glands calcify by teen years into brain sand crystals. It decreases the sense of direction and can inhibit all pineal gland functions. Some studies, as published in Journal of Pineal Research, about influence of electromagnetic frequencies in the range of 60 Hz, like polymer wire electric blankets, 16.7 Hz, this Swiss railway workers that started to work on electric powered engines. They showed that the influence is in there. This decline in immune resistance as well by external sources, increase of abnormal self-development, psychological problems. Under arousal of EMF can create reactive depression, ADHD, chronic pain, insomnia, and over arousal of EMF, anxiety, sleep onset problems, nightmares, impulsivity, anger, aggressiveness, nerve pain, and so on. The psychological functions. It's this center of higher intuition, this center of direct knowing, direct inner perception. Those functions that are emotional and mental relationships with higher virtues, the hope, the faith, awareness, consciousness, the truth. And of which misperceptions can create dogma, emotional blocks, which supports karma, not the grace. Misperception that, if cleared by resolving conflict between ego and higher self, can be healed. These major psychological challenges, the depression, anxiety, psychosis, learning issues, neurosis, all are linked in here as well. Misunderstanding of spiritual principles, the self-love and self-perception. And those spiritual functions. Opening of all higher gifts, these CDs, visions and experiences related to higher consciousness. It promotes the development of the third eye. Being spiritual, highly conscious and expressive of universal truths and thoughts, gravitation toward sacred philosophies, instantly understanding differences between good, bad and evil. It's this place where we are focused as well on helping others with their personal spiritual callings, to lead others in spiritual pursuits, where you are able to sense others' potentials and the nature of their true essence, these angelic traits on earth. What are those specific characteristics that exist in here? The most resplendent of all of those chakras is full of indescribable chromatic. It's vibrating with almost inconceivable rapidity, is prismatic hues. It's predominantly violet. It's described as 1,000 petals. In the outer circle it's 960. It has the subsidiary central whirlpool with 12 elements, with white and gold in its heart. As well, to just show you this beauty of this chakra, beauty of this maze of the elements, the number of those petals, how magnificent it is, how magnificent it looks as well with this beautiful middle part, this center part. Why and how it is important for your well-being? This chakra focuses on this guru archetype, using the intelligence and analysis to understand the world. It's the one that enables the wider understanding of our higher self. We are able to expand our perspective to understand all others as we feel connected to all others as one. And why this Kundalini is important in here? The Kundalini is expressed in 4 ways. So this journey of Kundalini, the Amakala, the notion of wheel of time, Kala chakra, appears in phases, source of abundant nectar. The Nirvana Kala, more excellent than excellent, grants divine knowledge, power of absorption without form. The Neurodika fire, the superior control, full power, sound is unmanifested. This Nirvana Shakti, all-absorbing Kundalini power, source of all life. After passing through the crown chakra, the Kundalini becomes known as Shankhini, the supreme Kundalini. Kundalini story is now complete. It gives the understanding of the complexity of the entire journey until this point. This Kundalini journey that started in the root chakra, where Kundalini was resting, and known as root Kundalini, which took the earth and smell. Then it got awakened. It was called the fire Kundalini. Then it moved to sacral chakra, where it took the water and taste. Then to solar plexus chakra, where it absorbed the fire and form. Then it moved to heart chakra to become the sun Kundalini, which absorbs air and touch. Then to throat chakra, which took the ether and sound. Then to the third eye chakra, where it transforms into moon kundalini, which stretches through the secondary chakra and absorbs the sensory mind and intellect. It's entering the crown chakra through Mahanda and Nirvana chakra, those secondary chakras, to absorb higher mind and ego, and travels to Guru chakra, finally transforming into state of extended daily consciousness kundalini. Then enters the proper crown chakra and completes assumption into Bindu point for enlightenment, because becomes Nirvana Shakti and is beyond waking, dreaming and sleeping. What is this nectar of God's things? We already mentioned that it's located in this area, but what it might have as physical ingredients? It appears that there are a couple of those. It has this endogenous cannabinoids, so you can hear about cannabinoids from marijuana. It's the own chemicals to affect mood, appetite, pain, inflammatory response and memory. It's produced in here. They activate cell receptors that invite this high state from substances like marijuana. Additionally, it has this encephalitis, neurotransmitters that suppress pain, the endorphins. Vasopressin, the hormone formed by hypothalamus, controls water retention. The calcium ions, they help pass information between neurons and along neurons. It has as well, or produces, this oxytocin. Those that have kids, they know what is oxytocin, what are those attributes of the oxytocin. But this one as well helps people bond. They induce optimism and self-esteem. They heal wounds. They relieve pain. They provide stress relief. They inspire generosity. They serve as diet aid. They prevent numerous physiological and psychological problems. It has as well this polarized water that can interact with itself and form intermolecular network. When excited, it gets dropped into the back of the throat. Additionally, what is this samadhi thing? In the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, this samadhi is this supernatural awareness. It's beyond sensual and mental awareness. It's the process, it's the range of experience. It has three main categories. Those categories indicate the state your mind is in. The erosion of mental awareness is progressive, the development of one type and erosion of another. So those are the Savikalpa Samadhi, so the one with fluctuation, sometimes illuminated, sometimes dark, with four stages: Vitarka, Vichara, Ananda, Asmita, Kundalini ascending through various chakras. Asam Pranata, without awareness, and this Nirvikalpa, without any fluctuation. In Ajna chakra, transcendence begins. The ego explodes. The highest point of awareness in Patanjali Raja Yoga is same as Sahasrara. So is the Kundalini awakening and Samadhi the same? So, while you know already a couple of those aspects, what can you ask more? How it connects to you as human being? This human hero's journey, does it connect in here? Is it only present in yogi culture, or it has resemblance in other cultures? Are there any chakras dependent on this chakra? Does this chakra connect us to any energy sources? Is it important for overall energy perspective? How imbalance or low development of this chakra can manifest, and how to balance it? What external circumstances can highlight myself the potential imbalance? What are those certain scenarios and what we can read from the response? And are there any good sources of knowledge about this chakra? So, how it connects to you as human being and on what levels? On many levels. You become illuminated, you become enlightened master. Your aura is continually radiant. You gain the supremacy over prana, almost no breathing needed. It's possessed by some yogis. Your intellect is positive. The happiness is the starting point, is the point that you are on all the time. The proper balance of body, psyche and mind. This constant state of bliss. Asam Pranata Samadhi. This unconscious conscious state of blissful illumination. The mind in pure void. During the meditation as well, this pure void, this nothingness that you try to focus on, and then you become soul-centered. These feelings, emotions, desires, they get dissolved into their primary cause. The knowledge, and the known all become unified. How about the hero's journey? This illusion of individual self is dissolved. The retaining of non-dual consciousness happens. Transcending the desire to manifest powers, those gifts that you received, those siddhis. You are a realized being. In Hindu tradition it's said that usually it happens between 42 and 49. It's as well open when baby is first born and fontanelle is still open. As well is the conclusion point of the journey of Kundalini. Is it present in other cultures? Yes, this downpouring of spiritual energy that happens in crown chakra in Christianity is this descent of the Holy Spirit. In Jewish Kabbalah, it's this Keter, the center of spiritual consciousness and divine oneness. In Chinese medicine, as well as acupuncture points. In Taoist yoga is this meeting point for the hundreds, this entry point of God Chi. On the tree of life, this is this highest point, the Keter, the crown, this crown chakra. Are there any chakras that are dependent on this crown chakra? The third eye, Ajna chakra, is the gateway to crown chakra, which is the universal love, or other chakras, as mentioned already. They depend on this one as source of energy. It's likely to be connected to kaleidoscope of secondary chakras. Some systems feature transpersonal chakras above the head. So those additional chakras, these sub-chakras, secondary chakras, the Mahanada, the one that enables mental and psychic performance, to be accomplished in speech, this Nirvana or Brahmarantra, the multi-layer endpoint of Sushumna and top of part of skull enclosing the brain, seat of concentrated mind and this I consciousness. This highest peak of the body, this anterior fontanelle, God's entrance to the physical body. Its frequency considered home of soul and this 10th door, this way out for soul after all other doors close through yogic practices or at death. The additional ones, the Guru secondary chakra, the Inanna chakra, this doorway to knowledge and guidance of teacher within. It purifies the mind, provides the higher truths. This Gu, the darkness, and Ru, the light. It's light that chases away darkness of ignorance. Often in the middle of forehead and deals with higher knowledge versus Ajna, lower knowledge. And additionally, this supreme Bindu, sometimes point above head or upper Sahasrara, this absolute void. Does it connect us to energy sources? So all other chakras, they depend on this one as source of energy. All potential lies in this chakra. It serves as causal energy body to drink fully from the nectar of gods. Is it important from this overall energy perspective? As mentioned already, all other chakras depend on it as source of energy. It serves as well as this causal energy body. And in here, it's this experience of expanding consciousness, illumination, and divine oneness. How imbalance of love development can manifest? Lack of purpose and loss of meaning, this apathy, materialism, selfishness, spiritual cynicism, being overly intellectual, those disorders of muscular skeletal systems and skin. This imbalance, lack of purpose, ethics, joy and trust, loss of meaning, this apathy, materialism, selfishness, fear of religion or spirituality, this cynicism, the fear of death, feeling alone and separate from others, ignoring one's own bodily needs. Disorders of the muscular, skeletal systems and skin, depression, chronic exhaustion, insomnia, sensitivity to light and sound, headaches, coordination challenges, migraines, dizziness, brain tumors, epilepsy, amnesia, Alzheimer's, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's disease, schizophrenia, and learning issues. Imbalance. Excess, overly intellectual, living in the head, this superiority, manic depressive behaviors, hysterical behavior, addiction to religion or any fanatic spiritual idea, dissociation from the body. So, when it is well balanced, how it might look like? You are released from ego-driven desires. Your self-trust increases. This selflessness happens. The superior consciousness is accessible. Refined sense of empathy. Ability to see the big picture and this humanitarian nature. All chakras begin to balance when crown chakra is balanced. The root chakra provides groundedness, the sacral chakra, creativity, the solar plexus chakra, success in the world. The heart chakra is this expansive heart, the heart that is curious. The throat chakra, expression of true voice. The third eye chakra, connection with inner knowing. And this crown chakra, this highest state of consciousness. These intuitive abilities that someone can have, this supra-consciousness, they nanny this wise one. Doesn't look at world as separate from self. They overcame the desire to possess or control. They don't have the compulsion to use those special gifts, those siddhis that they gained in the third eye and crown chakras. And those gifts, all gifts that were present in the third eye, plus specifically linked in here this astral projection, so soul travel while out of body, the claircognizance, the clear knowing, the empathic abilities, the exorcism, the release of spirits, this faith healing, the horoscopy, the interpreting of astrological charts, levitation, precognition, so seeing the future, prophecy, so knowing what should happen. How you can bring the balance back from at least two perspectives. So this pineal gland restoration, because it's connected directly to pineal gland, by kindling, so entertaining brain nerves with positive electromagnetic frequencies like earth magnetic field, so grounding going out as well, barefoot, the meditation, these states of meditations that you can be in, this alpha state, so 7 to 13 cycles per second, dreaming and light meditation, this creativity, deeper states of consciousness, and this theta state, this 4 to 7 cycles per second fields, so much slower, this deepest state of meditation, this mystery, healing, this extraordinary. Additionally, those various healing modalities, this shamanic dancing, drumming, mudras, chants, and additionally something more, that is this chakra medicine for increasing the clarity by cleaning the stored memories and energies of others, because as well in those chakras you can get the energy of others. And it's your path, your journey to create the protection mechanism and cleaning system for really keeping your own clean energy inside, clearing out these negative beliefs and emotions, these destructive beliefs, these negative attitudes, this lack of prosperity, clearing out trauma, these psychological and physical ones affecting until addressed. Access insights, this avenue of spiritual guidance, reduction of stress. So, like most of the doctors' visits result from stress, just to learn how to handle what life brings. Strengthen of immunity and boundaries on all levels of your energy field for protection. Clearing and keeping out others' energies. This cause of most of the problems. So this analysis of stress, strengths and weaknesses, and threats and opportunities. For the weaknesses, this lack of purpose, loss of meaning, materialism, spiritual cynicism, feeling alone and separate from others, being overly intellectual, and this, on other side, the strengths, the self-trust, the release from ego-driven desires, the selflessness, the superior consciousness, the refined sense of empathy, ability to see the big picture. Additionally, these external ones, the threats and opportunities, this materialistic environment as threat, the lack of spiritual guide, enforced distancing, environment expecting maximum awake time, lack of teachers focusing on how to make topics interesting. On the other side, the opportunities, the environment serving with love. This spiritual teacher, master of or guru. The proximity to caring beings. Peers highlighting the need for body, mind and spirit balance, and teachers developed in holistic approach to learning. What external circumstances can highlight myself the potential imbalance? Decisions. Do you need to take lots of time for thinking about the situation to be sure of all elements that they have been considered? Someone is in anger. You are not feeling that the source of the anger is rooted as step of their journey to challenge it, but you just directly respond with anger. Shiny new objects, you have the need to get all the best and shiny things to show on status, this inexplicable event that is happening. You find physical and mental justifications every time extraordinary happens. How you respond in certain scenarios and what you can read from it. You see people buying certain objects to show their status. You have a need to do the same regardless the necessity or price, just to prove your status, or you focus on what is needed for self-development and you keep razor sharp focus on your self-development. You see people having lots of faith and hope. You forcefully throw facts at them as they are the truth, or you compassionately help them grow even more self-confidence and closeness to their spiritual aspect. You discovered very interesting abilities that you have. You keep them for yourself because someone can copy them, or you try to share your abilities for greater purpose to enlighten others who they can be. So those good sources of knowledge, it's same as previously. As well, sources that give you the insights, like Autobiography of Yogi by Paramhansa Yogananda, which opened the spiritual aspects of lots of people. Lots of people discovered that what is in there is the truth, is the destination, the likely destination that everyone can have, the possibilities that are in there. So those connectivity points, as previously, all those need to be in balance, and the crown chakra provides the balance for all, provides the energy for all, and is this ultimate gateway to our human beingness. This journey as well, that was the journey through chakras, through those knots and untying all those knots on the load, and this Kundalini energy flow that culminated in crown chakra. Those are those points of our human hero's journey. Those are those points which had thresholds on this hero's journey cycle, on our spiritual aspect as well, on this physical aspect that is this basis that we start from. This aspect of getting the eyes closed more and more and just rediscovering your inner self, your inner truth, your inner voice, your essence. So, who am I? Are you able to respond a bit more to that question now? Are you able to open up for the answers that your logical aspect is not built to handle? So, to just sum it up, I wanted to show you as well what we are working on behind the scenes. So we had this Discover Your Soul challenge, and right now this webinar, the pre-recorded webinar, is ready. The audiobook is ready, and ebook is getting proofed. So all of those, if you are interested, just paste the hashtag webinar, hashtag audiobook, and hashtag ebook, so that we can check with you which one would you be interested in, to just get more understanding of how those aspects work from high level. The webinar, it's 3 elements, 3 chapters. The body, mind and spirit aspects. So 3 chapters, it's around 3 hours of watching. Audiobook, it's quite the same. And ebook as well, it's being filled in as well with some slides that have been captured during the presentation. Additionally, what is being created is this framework for our hero's journey, to describe ourselves as human beings, to know where we are, know where we want to go in terms of all those levels, all those chakras, where we are on our human hero's journey and where we want to go. What might be your next shift? This Spirit, Mind, Body group that we have, the Facebook group that you can join, that is linked as well to this webinar, it's for the like-minded individuals. We have over 100 videos to grow your spiritual path. The content is being categorized for better discoverability. And additionally, this next level holistic coaching that bases on those aspects of hero's journey and the chakras are as the map for your hero's journey is as well part of the services that we have. It bases on ancient knowledge. It has been discovered not only by intuitive experience, because that is one. Second one, it has been downloaded in deep meditation. And additionally, it has been seen from the observer mode. You can just drop a comment of #coaching if you are interested in this aspect. So I wanted to thank you for participating in this great journey with me, for discovering this beauty of our human beingness that is beyond senses. Chakras are those things that we cannot touch, feel. Some say that meridians, okay, they might be real, but chakras, not really. What are those? This is ancient scripture knowledge. This is one element. Second element, this is what all the experienced yogis that discovered in deep meditation the higher aspect of themselves and became gurus, became the ones that instantly know the answer for all the questions. They already know that those are not just the fairy tales, that they are real, that we have those energy connectivities in ourselves that enable us to be the higher versions of ourselves, each and every one, no exception. So, who am I? Am I just the body? Am I just the mind? Or am I the holistic human being that wants himself to be discovered by all those cognitive abilities and all those intuitive abilities that we have? And this is this beauty of our hero's journey and human journey, that we go beyond the physical aspect and we land by being so focused on external world for most of the time, we land back into our internal world. So thank you very much again for participation, and next time it will be my journey through those chakras that I will try to highlight. I will try really to get all those memories that relate to each and every chakra, to just give you this practical side of seeing your own journey, how you can relate to the chakras journey, and how you can see the progress that is happening on your path. For today, thank you very much. And see you next time. Bye.